What's up, guys? It's Wasted Space Podcast with Tyler and Brad, and we have a special guest.
Harrison.
Yeah, Liv.
Hello.
Harrison.
Welcome to the show.
Thanks.
So we actually had a show recorded earlier, or like an episode really, with one of our other fraternity brothers. He's also in our fraternity, and the audio kind of messed up a little bit, and so we decided to get his help because he's pretty good with the audio bullshit.
I guess. Yeah.
And
Kind of.
so he set us straight a little bit, and we decided to go ahead and record an episode with him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So today we're gonna talk about some pretty dark shit.
Well, yeah, we all have I don't know. We were just sitting around. We were talking about stuff because we were working on the audio, and we just I don't know. Some stuff started coming up. We were like, oh wow, really? But like for me, what I told them was a couple years ago. It was about when I was 16. I over the summer I went to the doctor. Tyler knows what's about to happen.
I don't. I have no idea about this.
Yeah,
Oh man,
no,
it's great, honestly.
I went to the doctor, and it was routine blood work. You once a year you got to go.
Okay.
And so I went, had my blood drawn. I was like, I'm out. It was like a week later, they called the house, and I remember because I was sitting down, I was watching TV, and they told my dad that I had polycythemia vera, which when I was like,
Long ass name. Wait, repeat it.
polycythemia vera. I literally remember that. But
All right.
I was like, okay, what is that? I looked it up, and it was straight up. It said blood cancer.
Oh shit.
And I was like, I got blood cancer.
You sound
Um,
excited.
Well, okay, so here's the thing. When I found out, obviously I was like, oh gosh, is this bad? But I looked it up, and I tried to do like some of my own research and looking into it.
WebMD.
WebMD.
You
apparently-
definitely have cancer if you're checking WebMD.
That's facts.
100% of the time.
Yeah, but I looked it up, and it was like polycythemia vera isn't really bad, and it's pretty easily treatable. So I was like, all right, cool. But I took the wrong approach to it because as soon as I found out, I just started telling everyone I knew that I had blood cancer. I don't know why. I do know why. I did it for the attention. There's literally no other reason I did it.
It's terrible.
But like one guy, I kind of knew it from school. I didn't know him that well, but he passed by me in Walmart, and I was like, "Oh, hey, how are you?" He's like, "Oh, I'm doing good." And he kept walking. And I turned around. And I was like, "Hey, I have blood cancer!" In the middle of Walmart.
God.
I was like, "Well, what can you do?" But see, then, they made me schedule for another test, that costs a shit ton of money. And so we do that test, they take my blood again. They come back and have the audacity to tell me that the reason that my results came up like that was probably because I had too much Dr. Pepper and not enough water that day.
God.
I was like, what the fuck are you telling me? For 6 months, I've sat here, had a fake blood cancer because of Dr. Pepper.
It was 6 months.
6 months.
I did not know it was that long. I thought it was like a month.
No, it was 6 months
Oh,
in between
Jesus.
when they told me and when they were like, oh, you just had too much Dr. Pepper.
So what is the ingredient in Dr. Pepper that is also consistent in blood cancer?
I think it's the doctor part. I think it's the doctors that, It's the fucking doctors.
The fake doctors.
It's the fake doctors telling me fucking fake blood cancer.
Yeah.
It's like psych his bitch ass out.
I mean, I'm really trying because, does it have iron in it?
I don't know
Like-
what it has in it, but they told me it was like you just did not have enough water and you had too much soda. And I was like, how does that make it to where you have blood cancer?
Yeah.
Like,
I'm
if
gonna
anything-
need a chemical breakdown of
Yeah.
Dr. Pepper and cryo sleep Mavera or whatever the fuck.
Polycythemia vera.
Yes, that one.
But it's like, how does, a soda compare to a cancer? And it's like, I can understand them being like, oh, you're just super dehydrated. No, they were like they just straight up called us. Also, I thought that was weird they called, but apparently that they can do that if you sign off on it, which I was like, it's like, hey, yeah, you have cancer. Have fun with that. Have
Like, oh,
fun
thanks,
with
doc.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah.
Wait, what's your name? Dr. Pepper. I'm like, okay, I'll remember that next time.
Yeah.
You know, my mom's dentist name is actually Dr. Pepper.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
It is.
My doctor's name is Gaston. I probably shouldn't have said that. Whatever.
Dr. Gaston.
His
Mine's-
name is Dr. Gaston, but I call him Gaston because I think it's funny.
Mine's had like
Gaston!
20. She's had like so many different like husbands since I've started going there. So I don't even know her last name right now. So it's changed like 5 times.
Oh, nice.
Wait, husbands?
Yeah,
Did she get married, take their money, call it good?
I guess I don't. Well, I mean, she's a doctor. So
Yeah, she doesn't
assume
need
she
to.
makes a lot of money.
She needs more, I guess.
Yeah,
She probably has a gambling addiction. She's got to fund it somehow.
it's possible. Speaking of cancer.
Okay. That's
so-
a hell of a transition.
Transition.
Speaking of cancer, yeah.
Hand it off.
By the way, I just want to mention that we don't condone having cancer.
What?
Wait, let me know.
We don't get to have
All
Let
you
me
that have
rephrase
cancer
that.
right now, all you that have cancer, if you're listening, which you're probably not because you have bigger problems like
That's
cancer,
Hey.
fuck you. We don't condone
No,
that shit.
No, okay. So what I meant to say was fuck cancer.
Yeah,
and
fuck
we're not like
cancer.
making fun of anyone with cancer. I just want to mention that
Okay.
because I mean my grandpa actually has cancer right now. So, but you know
What's
it's a
up?
different story. He's doing good. So
I hope
that's
so,
all.
honestly.
That's good. I
Yeah.
have an aunt that beat breast cancer recently. So
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's tough, but
So
it's
you know,
they make
cheers
it out.
for
Yeah.
beating cancer. Fuck cancer.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Cancer's
Really
like
does.
it's just one of those things. Like, I'm so happy that we've medically gotten to a point where it's like a lot easier to treat a lot of it, even though there's
Right.
it's still like it's a struggle, but hopefully there'll be a future where cancer is just like the flu. Go vaccinate.
Yeah.
and you'll be
Yeah,
fine.
hopefully. Are
Damn,
either of
I'll never get
you
the vaccination.
those people that believe that like big pharmacy is hiding the cancer cure from us? Really? Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know
Okay,
about that.
no,
Are you like a
okay, so-
conspiracy guy? Like
no,
you really
I
oh.
actually don't think that, but like I believe that could be possible.
I
Basically.
mean, I know for a fact that like the Susan G. Komen Foundation is like
yeah.
horribly corrupt. Like,
Yeah, that's
their
a
shit.
fact.
You're
Yeah.
right.
So, but I mean, I like to think that maybe there's professionals out there that really are working their hardest.
I sure hope so.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's kind of unfair to other people. And I just think about like, what if I had cancer?
Yeah.
That kind of sucks. So,
Yeah.
like,
I
I would hope that everyone would get the opportunity to have a cure if they have it.
Yeah.
Right.
But I guess they don't, obviously. So
Yeah.
Yeah. I
at
think
least right now.
Yeah, I think one of the problems with that is it's any kind of research on that is most research is actually privately funded, and so surprisingly enough, a lot of rich people will actually unless they have it, aren't willing to fund something like for cancer research,
Right.
which it sucks, but that's part of it. I know like back whenever they did all the studies that said chocolate was good for you, that's because they had people that were privately funding scientists to go and find that chocolate is good for you, even though really they were just paid off to say that it is.
Right.
But it's just kind of sucky how, that's how it works. And it's like, we don't spend as much money in those areas when it's actually like, it's such a useful and like necessity now.
Right.
But, it's part of it, I guess.
I actually thought I had cancer once.
Really?
Last summer. So I started I was actually here on campus before I guess I was a student. Well, no, it was the year before last. Sorry. So I was here before I was still in high school. I stayed here during the summer for 5 weeks. Doing classes to kind of get the feel of college. It was through a program here, and I was sitting in class one day, and it was so boring too. Should mention that. But I thought I was depressed, but I wasn't. It was just I was so stressed out that I was there instead of doing something else, because I didn't want to be there because it was just so boring, and so I got so stressed out to the point that I actually passed out almost.
Really?
Yeah, and so my mom actually came in. She gave me a Three Musketeers, 2 of them I think. I don't know why I remember that, but I do. And she I thought I was okay. So at first I thought I had diabetes, but I didn't. Turns out I just had really high blood pressure. I went through a whole bunch of stuff, and I had to get a kidney ultrasound. It's kind of cool though, honestly. I had to go to the big city.
Well, wait, so you got an ultrasound?
Yeah, it
Was it twins, triplets?
I think it was triplets. Yeah. Well, I have 2. I have 3 kidneys. Yeah. And so the stuff is super cold too. It's awesome. but like I'm really ticklish on my back, so I like started laughing. She's like, well, calm down. I was like, I can't help it.
You might die. Calm down.
That's what I was thinking. I was trying to like make light of my situation. But yeah, no. Fast forward a little bit later, or I guess actually a little bit earlier. I thought that was connected to something that I thought was cancerous. So there's this thing that happens whenever your balls drop, like when you hit puberty.
Okay.
They drop.
There's like this sac thing that's engulfs your specimen, basically.
Okay.
And then when they physically drop, like there's this sac thing that gets left behind. Mine didn't get left behind, and it's
Okay.
this thing called like a hydrocele apparently, and so it was like causing pains a little bit, and so I thought I had like testicular cancer. And I went in, got checked
shit.
up for like a hernia. It wasn't a hernia. So I was like, oh shit, it's definitely cancer. You know, because I was WebMDing that shit.
Yeah,
I'm not even
yeah.
kidding. I literally did. I was like, fuck, I got cancer. And then the doctor came in. He's like, hey, and he explained that whole, hydrocele thing. He's like, yeah, you don't have cancer. You're fine. I was like, oh shit. Like I was telling people that I was gonna be in a wheelchair, gonna have like fucking surgery, getting my
Jesus.
nut chopped. And so I pretty much like premeditated like he
Yeah,
did,
that's
and just
what I
like
did.
told a whole bunch of people, kind of like not celebrating. That's a really bad word. But basically, just like telling people, like kind of bragging about, like, I gotta get surgery.
I don't
I don't
know-
know why, but I was like,
know
I was
what?
excited about being in a wheelchair.
Gotta get
basically.
surgery on my balls.
Yeah.
I think it doesn't really have as much to do with that you're trying to brag. I think it's like a way of coping with it.
I think so too. Yeah.
I think really like that would make sense why I did it. Like obviously I did it for attention, but I did it for the attention because it was like I didn't want to be the only one trying to deal with that because it really sucked.
Yeah, and but yeah, I don't have cancer, thankfully. And the doctor that came in there, he was like trying to make jokes. He was like, "Yeah, you're really hung up on that, aren't you?" Like wink. I'm like, thanks, doc. And like he made so many different jokes. I was like, please
really
quit. You're
hung
making me
up on that
uncomfortable.
one.
Because like 5 minutes before that, he definitely saw my penis, and he could clearly tell that I was hung like a horse. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Like a quiz.
Yeah. But anyways,
I just realized
that's-
I spiked it because I clapped.
but that's pretty much the end of my story. So yeah, I had a close call basically, and I was super scared, honestly. Like I was like, oh man, can I have cancer? But
Yeah.
I don't,
Hey,
so I'm good.
Do y'all watch like really shitty movies?
Yeah, all the time.
I mean, yeah.
Hang on,
I
there's,
love movies.
there's this one. I want to see if y'all get this line, and I hope I don't fuck it up. But the results are in, and I definitely have breast cancer. Do y'all know
No, I don't know
No.
what that's from.
The Room?
I haven't
Oh
seen
yeah,
that.
I have seen that.
I haven't seen that.
It's
Yep.
a terrible movie,
It's awful, but it's so funny because of how bad it is.
and it's classic too. It's a classic just because of how
it's
bad
a classic
it is.
movie.
Hmm.
My friend showed us that.
Oh wait, is that different from the one where the girl is trapped in the room with her son?
Yeah,
It's
it's
not-
totally different.
No.
It's totally different.
That one's called something like. That one might just be Room with no the, but it's very easy to confuse them.
The Room.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, Harrison, you got a story?
Yeah, so I never thought I had cancer. So slightly unrelated, but still medical. And this was back in high school. Probably junior year, I think. When I was like I first discovered drugs and alcohol and all that good stuff. So my parents actually, I've never told them about this. So
Hopefully they don't listen.
yeah, hopefully. I probably won't tell them I'm on here.
That's a good idea.
Anyway, my parents were out of town for my little brother's like baseball tournament or something. He does a bunch of sports, so they go out of town all the time. I was home alone, and I had just spent the whole day hanging out with one of my friends, who I'll call David. So me and David hung out all day, and then I went home, and I decided, hey, I'm home alone. Let's have a little party on my own. Open up the alcohol cabinet.
Nice.
And I had like 4 whiskey and cokes, and I was feeling pretty good. Just watching Netflix, chilling out,
As you
like
do.
drunk on my couch alone. It actually sounds kind of sad when I think about it, but anyway.
When you say it out loud like
Yeah,
that,
yeah, I know.
alone.
But I mean, I don't know. It was probably like the 3rd time I'd ever been drunk, so I was having a good time. But it gets to be. It actually wasn't even that late. Like, it was in the middle of the summer, and it wasn't even dark out yet. It was probably like 8 o'clock. But I was like, you know what? I'm tired. I'm just gonna go to bed. And so my dad has like minor insomnia. It's like something that kind of runs in our family. I have it too.
Sure.
But he takes, or at this point in time, he doesn't anymore. He used to take Ambien to go to sleep,
Okay,
which
yeah.
is a sleeping drug, obviously.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm gonna go to bed, and I think if I just crawl into bed, I'm gonna throw up because I'm really drunk. So I take an Ambien.
Nice. As you do.
And then this was also back when I used to smoke cigarettes a lot. So I went out, I took an Ambien, still piss drunk, went out on my back porch to have a cigarette. And next thing I know, the sun is down and I'm on my porch in the dark, laying on the porch, and I'm covered in vomit, and I had shit my pants. And I remember I woke up and threw up some more, and then I passed back out. And then I woke up again, and David from earlier was at my house. And when he tells this story, he just said he had a bad feeling, and he just came to my house for like no reason. He just had a bad feeling, which I think is fucking crazy.
That is
Because
crazy.
like we had no plans to hang out that night at
Yeah.
all. I was going to bed. I was trying to. But anyway, he picks me up. Well, when he tells it, he says he walks outside. Like, first he walks around my house and tries to find me, and I'm not in there. So he walks out onto my back porch, and he's like, holy fuck. Like,
Damn.
he sees what's laid out before him. And so he thinks I'm dying, so he picks me up. And he gets me in the shower. He throws my pants away because they're covered in shit.
As you do with shit covered pants.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, every week for me personally, but
So, I get all cleaned up in the shower, probably throw up a few more times, and then I actually make it to bed and I go to sleep.
Sorry.
And then he just comes and checks on me the next day and explains he asked me what I did and like what the fuck happened. And I was like, well, I drank a lot and then I took Ambien. And so his mom is a nurse. And he's like really into the medical field, so he knows all about like drug contents and stuff.
Yeah.
So he told me that there's a chemical in Ambien and other, sleep medications and antidepressants and stuff like that, where if you mix it with alcohol, it makes you very sick.
Holy shit.
So I did not know about that. And yeah, that's my story of how I got real fucked up. And,
Well,
like,
well, if you're listening, do not mix alcohol and Ambien,
Yeah.
please.
or
No, it's a
pretty
bad
much
idea.
any drugs.
Any sleeping
Maybe.
drugs or
Maybe do some research first.
yeah.
any drugs in general. Don't listen to me. Just you can mix other drugs, just not sleeping drugs.
Yeah. And honestly, I think about it sometimes, and if my friend had came and got me, I don't know how long I would have been laying on the porch, because like I felt awful for like a week after that.
Damn.
I
So
believe
it
it.
was like, yeah, it was pretty bad.
Well, thanks for sharing, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on. I think this
Yeah,
was fun.
That was a good episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, actually, the guy that keeps up with all this stuff, he tapped on his wrist because we gotta
He's
go.
being a bitch. That's what he's doing. He's being a bitch. He's like, bitch, time is up.
But yeah, no.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah, that. So I guess we gotta get the fuck out. But yeah, no, thank you, Harrison, for coming on. The podcast. We'll definitely have you back for sure.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, guys.
But yeah, this is kind of like a spur of the moment. So I guess we're gonna leave.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, well, thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Check it out on all of our platforms: Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, and Patreon, and Google Play Music, I think, but no one uses that. So.
Yeah.
You guys are
But
everywhere.
Yeah,
It's
but,
everywhere.
But yeah, thanks for listening. We'll see you around.
We're like cancer.
Bye.